How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Reading, taking place at the City Ground on Saturday. So yeah, Reading currently just above the relegation zone. I think they are 5 points clear at the moment with a game in hand. It's 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But yeah, it should be one that we win, and it should be one that we win fairly comfortably. Reading aren't doing too well in the Championship this season. Obviously, they did have that 6-point deduction at the start of the season, and you know, they're not doing great really. So it should be one that we win fairly comfortably. But we know whenever we play Reading, it doesn't go as simple as that. You just look at it just seems like every game we play against them, we either lose or it ends 2-2, 1-1. There was like one season where we played them very close to each other. It was a Sabri season because there was a game postponed at the City Ground because of waterlogged pitch, I think. Oh, a bit hard to come there. Waterlogged pitch, I think, and the game sort of got replayed in like the January after the reverse fixture, which was we were 1-0 up in the last minute. I think was it Ben Watson scored in the last minute, and then Figueiredo almost 10 seconds later goes and scores an own goal. So yeah, it just seems like any time we play them, it's just mental. Like the week after, or a few weeks after when we played the rescheduled fixture, we went 1-0 up, ended up drawing 1-1. So, you know, I think this time we should be okay. I've got a feeling we might be able to get the 3 points in a fairly comfortable manner. I think, you know, off the back of that Huddersfield game in the Cup, we're going to be on cloud 9. You know, we're going to be really believing in ourselves and have that full confidence in what we're doing, which is great to see. And I think we'll be able to really do what we need to do, get the 3 points, and be able to look on to the next game. Now, Reading, they've got some decent players within the ranks, but I don't think really player for player you can look at them and really compare them to Forest and compare them to the way that things are going at the minute. I just think that we're just that step ahead. I think obviously they've had problems financially, so they've not been able to sort of spend as much as they would have wanted to, or bring in the sort of players that they want. But you know, I do feel confident that we will be able to go out there and do the business and make it. And make it another 3 points on the board for us, which could really help us in our push to get the playoffs. We are currently 5 points off, but we do have a game in hand at the minute. So basically, they're what we are to the playoffs. So what they are to the relegation zone, we are to the playoffs, if you get what I mean. But we're just a couple of places different to them. It's just talking in regards to the points there. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch it or keep up with the game because I am away for the weekend, and I don't think I'll have much time really to spend on my phone. It's quite busy, my weekend, so unfortunately I won't really be able to keep up with that. But if I can, I'll keep up with the score. Won't be able to watch it or listen to it, which is a shame. But you know, sometimes I can't always do that. But I've got full confidence I can leave it in the hands of Steve Cooper and the boys, and we'll see 3 points come home in a fairly comfortable manner. I'm going to go with 3-1. I've got a feeling 3-1 or 3-0. I'm feeling confident for this one. I think we can go and stamp our authority and send out a message to teams around us that we're not here to mess about. In terms of the lineup, it's going to be a bit of an interesting one, really. The big question on social media for Forest fans and just in general, really, is the fact that do we play Bryce Samba or do we keep Ethan Horvath? I think he's been brilliant, Horvath, really. He's really silence some of his doubters. I think the Middlesbrough game, he wasn't great, and you could tell with the ball at his feet. I mean, shot stopping, he was decent. He kept the score down. Same with the Wolves game in the Carabao Cup at the start of the season. They really kept the score down and kept it respectable in a way. You know, 4-0 against the Premier League outfit, it's not too bad when you're bottom of the Championship. But I think he was found out with the kicking. He was found out with the distribution, and you know, that's not been as bad of an issue since coming in. Obviously, he's not been as confident with the ball at his feet that like Samba usually is. Someone who's able just to, you know, take that extra touch, take that extra step with the ball and just ping it out wide to find someone, you know, who needs the ball out on the wing or whatever. Horvath, he's not as confident to do that, but I think his shot stopping definitely makes up for that. Made some big stops against Huddersfield in the Cup. You know, that one at the near post, there was one I can't remember who it was. It might be Danny Ward pinged one to the near post. He got across well and made the save. There was one where I can't remember his name. It's Soleimani or something like that. Struck the post, I think it was, and then Johnson on the rebound. Not Johnson, sorry, Thomas on the rebound. The goal was gaping, and he managed to get across and make the save. So shot stopping and making saves like that, he's really good. And I don't know, I personally prefer Samba just because I'm a bit more confident with him distribution wise. But in terms of making the saves and using his hands as goalkeepers need to, their main primary role, if you will, he's doing really well, Ethan Horvath, and you can't really say he deserves to have his place dropped. I think Samba might have to work his way back in at the minute, which is good to see, because you don't want a situation where you have one goalkeeper like Bruce Samba and they're just in every week regardless. They could throw a clanger and, oh well, you'll be in next week, don't worry. It's good to have competition for places. It's good that down the other end of the pitch that Graben's not going to come back in from injury and just be straight back in the side. We've got two strikers who are chomping at the bit, who are really playing well and really stating their claim to be the main man up front. So it's really good to see. There's battles all over the pitch. Sort of midfield, you've got Yates and Garner, who I think are our best two, but then you've got Colback knocking on the door. And yeah, it's great to see, because I think it really gives that just the feeling that the players have to be on their toes at every given opportunity. They have to be there, ready. They can't afford to drop points. They can't afford, or not afford to drop points. They can't afford to put in a bad performance. They can't afford to make mistakes, because their place will be gone by somebody who's ready to take it from them. And it's not like a case of some clubs where they've got players who they are quite far and away better than other players in their position, that regardless of how they play, they're going to play week in, week out. You look at sort of Manchester United and you see sort of Harry Maguire, and it's like, he just seems to play week in, week out, and regardless of how bad he plays, he played against Manchester City and he's an absolute stinker, and Ralph Rangnick will play him again at the weekend, no doubt. So I think it's good to see that we have those players and we have positions like Horvath and Samba where we actually have a debate to make. We actually have something to look at and think, right, okay, that player should come back in, but then this guy who's filled in for him has done really well and put in a really great performance. So I think he deserves to carry on in goal, Ethan Horvath. I would probably prefer, I think I prefer Samba as a goalkeeper, but he's done really well and he deserves to have that chance. He deserves to be put in goal and be kept there, because he's done really, really well, and fair play to him. You've got to give him the credit he deserves, and he definitely deserves that, and I don't think that you can really take him away from that position at the minute. He's doing really well, and I just think you've got to reward him with that. Three brilliant performances, only conceding 2 goals in 3 games that he played, one against Sheffield United and one against Huddersfield. Kept a clean sheet against Bristol City, I think it was. So you've got to be pleased with that. You've got to give him the respect he deserves, and I don't think you can really drop him at the moment. The back five, obviously, it's going to stay the same. I think one of the best back fives in the league, really, really good. Max Lowe was a bit. I wasn't too sure on him against Huddersfield and against Sheffield United, but he's doing his job defensively. Is solid, I think. But going forward, he was a bit, but I think he should be fine for this one. The midfield two has to be Yates and Garner for me. I think that's one of the best midfield two that we've had in a long, long time. I think back to sort of midfielders we've had in the past. Miejski maybe, but he was more of an attacking midfielder. We had Cohen, but kind of. I think Yates is quite similar to Cohen in a way, but unfortunately Cohen just wasn't able to play as many as you'd like with his injuries and that sort of thing. But I think you look at those two in the midfield, and the two of the best midfielders we've had for a long time, and that's one player in Ryan Yates who, even myself, I wasn't sure on him. I thought people only liked him because he was one of our own. That season under Sabri, when Samba Sow was injured and Yates came in, we just dropped points in games. I think he might have played in that Hull game at home, that Charlton game at home. So I think he's done tremendously well since Cooper's come in, because I was sort of on the side of, he's not good enough, really. He's only sort of liked by fans because he's one of our own and he's passionate. But no, he's been brilliant. He's really managed to put not a cap on his passion, but really be able to direct it in the right way, and it not be a case of, just diving in and getting silly challenges, silly fouls and stuff. He's putting it in the right way and using that really well, which is great to see. And then you've got Garner, who technically is one of the best midfielders, one of the best players I've had at the club in a long time. It's such a joy to watch. He's been sort of 8.5, 9 out of 10 consistently for the last few weeks, and it's brilliant to see. The front three, Johnson starts, Zinchenko probably starts on the other side, and then down the middle you've got to probably, for me, start Surridge. Excellent in the first 65 or so minutes that he played against Huddersfield. Brilliant performance. Scored twice. One should have been disallowed, but it was. But overall, he was fantastic, and he really should deserve his position in this one. For me, like I say, 3-1, 3-0 the score. I'm going to go with probably Surridge, Garner from midfield, and Brennan Johnson. So yeah, let me know down in the comment section what you think the score will be. Whether you think it'll be Horvath starting, Samba starting, what you think the start 11 will be. And yeah, smash that like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new around here. And come on, you Reds.